Hi guys, hello everybody, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Samira. I did my BSc in University of Cape Coast, UCC, and my master is in North Carolina A&T State University, and I'm doing my PhD now in New York University. I will be talking about types of funding and how to apply, basically. So before I start, I just want to give a brief, background on the types of scholarships that there are. There is scholarship and then there is funding. The prior speakers have already talked so much about all the requirements, eligibility and everything, and at the end of it all, when it comes to, I saw a question in the chat asking about funding, and we are here now. At the end of it all, you've searched for a school, you've taken out so much time, searched for an advisor, searched for a school, written your letters of recommendation, done your test and everything, and now you've applied, you've gotten in, but then how do you get funding if you don't have funding, right? So first of all, you need to know before everything else that there are different kinds of scholarship. There is an athletic scholarship for those of you who are athletically inclined. If you're a good basketball player and you want to go through that route, you need to know that there are scholarships out there that are specifically for athletes, right? The most common type of scholarship that there is right now is the merit-based scholarship. So everybody wants to know that you have a high GPA, you are intellectually capable of doing good stuff and good research when you come. So people really want to know that you are capable and academically sound. So they really put out, the majority of scholarships you have out there is merit-based. And then there is a need-based scholarship where they usually look at people from less privileged society. Sometimes they go to sub-Saharan Africa. So you see certain scholarships out there, the specific eligibility is people from sub-Saharan Africa, people from certain parts of Asia and everything. And these are the only people that are actually allowed to apply for these scholarships. There is a unique scholarship that, is tailored to specific hobbies. So there are people out there who are very interested in going into catering school, going into bakery, and going into very unique things, right? And then these scholarships are actually tailored for only those people. If you are in STEM, you are not permitted to apply. And there is a subject or career specific scholarship, right? And these are organized by academic bodies, organizations. Usually you need to be part of these organizations to be eligible. For instance, there's the Rotary Club has some specific scholarships for their members and people, so you just need to know basically which of these scholarships that you are most eligible for before you put in your head. A lot of these can be found on this. That's why I'm kind of referencing that video where I spoke in depth about these kinds of scholarships, right? So we move on to funding, right? Basically, the difference between funding and scholarship is usually for merit-based, and funding is you need the scholarship, so it's need-based, right? So sources of funding would include teaching assistantship. When you apply for a school and then you eventually get in, you might be given an opportunity to teach. So if you're applying for a master's program, I know you're allowed to teach maybe undergrads, level 100s, maybe a lab session, or you can just TA them and all of those stuff. If you are applying, like the previous speaker said, if you are applying into a school where the faculty themselves have their own funding, then the faculty might bring you on board to do research. So you are coming in there Ahmed Salim, who said it's like a work. So even though you are going to school, you are also going to work where you are getting paid, and that payment can go into some of your tuition and can be used towards your living allowances, can go into your accommodation and all of those stuff, right? And then there are departmental sources as well. So departmental sources basically mean your department has a funding. So maybe NSF, the National Science Foundation, or some maybe Rockefeller or some benevolent person actually go in there and give the department maybe $1 million for 5 years. So the department itself has funding. So now it's up to them to look at which of the criteria they want to put out there to make people eligible for this money that they have, right? And then one thing that some people fail to realize is that there are interdisciplinary sources of getting funding. So for instance, you have applied to computer science, and then in data science department there is funding. How do you then reach out to get the funding from a department that isn't yours? So that's where the interdisciplinary sources come in. So you need to look beyond the department. When you search, this is a point where you've already gotten in and then the department you've been admitted into doesn't have funding. Look around, right? Look at something that you can work with. So if you are mathematically inclined and there is funding in maybe some aeronautical engineering or something, and you see you can actually work in conjunction with that lab, so you can actually get the funding from that lab, go ahead and apply to that lab, right? So you can apply for funding interdisciplinary. Not necessarily you just have to maintain your straight road and just be there and not look around. So you have to look around and ensure that you are well covered, and then you not only look at your department, but you're looking around things that you can do comfortably and still make it. So there are other professional organizations. I think these things are intertwined, like the personal organizations and from alumni as well. Some people give like a specific amount, maybe not necessarily full amount of your tuition, but they give maybe $2,000 or maybe they give $3,000 or just some amount of money for students in need. So they just pump it into the department yearly, and you can actually look. So when you definitely search for your school and then you've gotten in, these are the things you should look out for. You should look out for benevolence from alumni. You should look out for other professional organizations within the university that is providing funding, okay? And one more thing I would like to touch base with is Dr. Suad Rashid correctly mentioned that you need to contact graduate school coordinators. That is fantastic, because not only should you contact graduate school coordinators, you need to contact the departmental administrative personnel. That's the person who signs the person who drafts the letters. That's the person. So amongst everything else, you want to make sure to contact, after you've gotten in and maybe you don't have funding, you send a very nice, precise email to the departmental personnel to say, hey, my name is this, I've been admitted so and so, I'm supposed to come maybe for fall 2021 or for fall 2022. Could you please advise which department have funding? Could you please advise which other professor has funding? Could you please tell me, a very nice, concise email to that departmental administrative personnel, because they are the ones that receive all these letters. Some of the fundings that are in that department, trust me, even the faculty doesn't know, because everything goes through them. They sign the paperwork, they do everything. So those are your key people you want to be close with. You want to make sure that they are very familiar with them. You email them on a constant level to know whenever there is funding or there's something within or immediately outside your department that you can actually apply to, right? So the next thing I would like to talk about is a very, very dicey situation. Does GPA matter when you are securing funding? Early application, GPA. This is like very, very contested, like Nigerian and Ghanaian jollof. Like people are just like, which one do we go, right? So typically, like I already mentioned, the merit-based scholarship is the most popular kind of scholarship. They usually look for your 3.0 and above, right? So if you are graduating, you have a 3.0 or maybe 4.0 first class and everything. So what about people that didn't graduate with a 3.0? Does it mean they can't get funding? The very first thing you should consider is standardizing your GPA, right? Because apparently the Ghanaian or the African GPA system is a little, it differs a little bit from US and Northern America and some other countries, right? So you want to go to a website called Scholaro, where you put in your courses and their grades and everything, and it converts it nicely for you to a US standard. So if you graduated a little bit below 3.0, and one of the criteria for funding or the criteria for admission and all of those things is already 3.0, and you think maybe you don't qualify, you probably do. You just have to convert that GPA to the American standard or maybe the whatever schools or whatever region standard, and you probably might already just be sitting right at the 3.0, and then you can apply. One more thing I would like to talk about in terms of funding is a lot of people make the mistake of going for Ivy League schools and national universities and like huge well-known universities when the actual funding is in small schools. So look out for colleges, look out for not community colleges per se, but then look out for universities that offer your program, but then not necessarily a large national university, because these small colleges are looking for diversity, they are looking for inclusion. Majority of us on this panel right now, majority of the participants or people who are here are Muslims. You want to hammer on the fact that you'll be bringing in diversity. You want to hammer on the fact that you'll be bringing in inclusion and diversity. And trust me, if they have even 2 Muslims on their campus, they would make noise and talk about it, and like they are very inclusive, they are this. So a lot of these schools really want that. A lot of schools want inclusion, they want diversity, they want all of those things. So you really want to look at those small colleges who have funding, and not necessarily the large colleges that are already packed with so much applications. Trust me, they have so much applications in a year coming in and out. So basically, how do you apply for these scholarships? The previous speakers have already talked about how you go ahead and select your desired program of study, and then you need to look for schools that are offering your program of study. Don't limit yourself to chemistry or computer science or math or economics and that's it. If it's not economics, I'm not going. If it's not economics, I'm not attending. You know, we are all diverse human beings. Go ahead and look for schools that offer something similar to what you can do. So if you are not getting chemistry and you are getting biochem, does it mean you won't go? If you are not getting chemistry and you are getting something similar, does it mean you won't go? So you just have to look for stuff that is close enough to your niche and you would thrive in, right? So you need to attend college fairs, graduate school workshops, student recruiters, in-person or Zoom meetings. These college fairs are very important because usually that's where you get the application fee waivers. Application fee waivers, to me, I feel is the most difficult process in the whole thing, because if you're applying to say 5 schools and they're all charging maybe $75 each, I don't know, but to me it's going to be difficult paying $75 times 5. So you really want to make sure to attend these college fairs, and they would give you a code. Usually they usually give a code. When I was applying for my PhD, I applied to over 5 universities and I didn't pay a dime because I was always going to make sure to ask for an application fee waiver. Application fee waiver enables you open your horizon and apply to as many schools as you want to. One of the most important things as well to do is to contact recent graduates from the school or current graduates of the intended program. They know if there is funding in the department. The website could say something, the department can say something, but then is that funding currently available? So you don't want to like email a professor and then you are waiting for like 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, you are not hearing anything from them. Go on LinkedIn, search for the students in the program. Sometimes when you click on the website of the department, you see people, not the faculty. And then in the people, you see graduate students, postdocs, undergrads. See somebody who you can relate to and send them a quick message or a quick email. Hey, you are ready to apply to this school. Could you help me in terms of like which of the professors currently have funding? Which of the professors can I work with? This is my background. Do you mind going through? Make a nice repertoire with these people, and hopefully you would be able to know specific faculty or specific funding opportunities. You need to select at most 3 faculty from each school that you contact, because these people talk in the admission process, in the admission selection process. They talk to each other, and if your name come up and then they realize, oh, you've already spoken to all 6 of us and you told all 6 of us that you like our research and we are all doing something completely different, it doesn't give a good signal. So you really want to make sure to contact at most 3 faculty that have close research alignment or close research enough that you can actually apply to, right? And then when you select your desired program of study, what are the keywords or the key sites to go looking for this funding? Faisal Noble said it, Google is your #1 search, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you put in keywords in your search. Certain keywords like international scholarship, full funding, no GRE for chemical engineering, international scholarship, full funding, no GRE for mathematics. These are the keywords. You know, Google should be your very first point of contact when you are searching for these schools or these fundings. And you want to go ahead to click on the frequently asked questions for applicants. Certain things might be, you might have a question in mind that isn't answered on the website. You want to go ahead and click on the frequently asked questions and see, oh, has somebody already asked? Because why are they putting in frequently asked questions? They are frequently asked questions, literally. So you want to go ahead and read the frequently asked questions and see if your concerns have already been addressed before you go ahead and contact specific faculty. Those of us already in our home institution, if you haven't graduated, for instance, if you're already in level 200 or you're in level 300, and you don't have to wait till you graduate to start making contacts or to start applying to the university, you can go to the study abroad programs in your respective home institution. For instance, I did the study abroad from University of Cape Coast. Nobody told me about it. I would have graduated 4 years in the University of Cape Coast and not even know anything at all about it. Because, I mean, we all know, like, they don't really do a very great job in sensitizing the public, especially the students, about these opportunities. So I actually walked up to the Center of International Education, CIE, and I was like, I want to go abroad to study. What are the opportunities there? Can you please brief me? And then they were like, oh, actually we have a study abroad program that we're about to commence right now, and you might want to apply. Go to so and so and email so and so. And that was literally how I started applying for the study abroad. So you might be in level 200 or 300 or even level 100. It's not too early. Go ahead and go to your home institution. Ask them politely that, you want to know more about the study abroad programs that they are offering. How can you apply, basically? And then for all you know, you can come over, do a semester abroad or a year abroad and go back. Now you establish contact when you do so, because definitely that school already knows your repertoire. They already know what you are capable of. If you finish in your 4th year and you're applying there again, what is the chances that they will say no, right? Because they already know you. You've already established contacts with people on there. So yeah, these are how to search for funding, how to search for good contacts and everything. So I'm almost running out of time. I have a YouTube channel called MIRAMOVES. You can subscribe and learn more about like funding and learn more about scholarships and current scholarships worldwide and everything. I also find a couple of channels that I want to share, because I feel like these ladies are doing an amazing job representing Ghanaian Muslims. And yeah, I believe the next is for an interactive Q&A. Thank you.